Hello everybody, it's me, GhostCritic, and I'm here with my Friday comic book review video. Thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, thank you for coming back if you're a loyal viewer. I have a number of comics that I picked up on Wednesday. If you saw my pull list video, you'll already know what is to come. But what will be my pick of the week this week, that will be shown in the video coming straight after this, so be sure to check that out too. I'm kicking off very quickly with a book that's been out for a while, but I picked up on a kind of whim, because I had quite a small stack to pick up this week, and that was Dark Horse Comics. It is Frankenstein Underground, issue number 1. I believe this is kind of like a mini-series coming out of the Mike Mignola Hellboy universe, and you can tell straight away that this is very much in the vein of Hellboy, and it is firmly in that kind of universe. To be honest, I was less interested in the Frankenstein parts of it. I think by now, if you're picking up a comic about Frankenstein, or Frankenstein is involved in this, you already kind of know about his back history, the way that, you know, he's hounded wherever he goes. Is he a man or a monster? The tortured soul, looking for love. And this issue kind of wastes a lot of time kind of retelling that. It all looks very nice, with Ben Stenbeck and David Stewart on art duties. But the actual storytelling of it, it's nothing new. I was, however, a lot more interested in this kind of evil cabal in the background that is after our Frankie. Of course, they are also trying to find the link or the missing piece to reanimate dead material and create, I don't know, armies, servants. It's not really explained exactly why they want this power to reanimate dead flesh, and obviously they take a fancy to Frankenstein and send off a supernatural beastie lady who doesn't have much luck. But you know, the second half of this, where all the kind of actiony bits take place, and the evil cabal bits were interesting. Is it enough for me to go out and pick issue 2 up? Probably not. I'll wait for this to be collected in some sort of volume, hopefully a nice hardback one like the BPRD ones, and I'll read it as a whole. On to the new books I picked up this week now, and I'm kicking off with Shutter issue 11. And Shutter continues to be this kind of crazy, nutty, chaotic story, where I'm not quite sure whether our writer Joe Keating actually knows where he's going with this. We have Catherine and her older sister that she didn't know about, Callian, trying to escape the giant that is Rathbone. This seems to be a family enemy, as we see at the beginning few pages. There's kind of this quaint storytelling style art to the first few pages, where a young Kate wakes up from a dream where she is being kidnapped and taken away. And it would seem that there is some rivalry between the family Christopher, Catherine and father, etc., and the Rathbones. So how does one escape from a giant rock formation? He looks like a huge big rock formation with like crystals for beards and eyebrows and hair and such. Well, of course, you jump on a bed that is controlled by your thoughts to escape through the dreamland. Of course, in this whole kind of chaotic craziness, it's like kind of jumping out the fire into the frying pan, or the frying pan into the fire, whichever way it is, because just as she escapes Rathbone, she falls into the hands of an enemy that we have seen before. an old enemy, going back to the days of when her father was alive. And it does seem that they are an enemy, but are they? Have they also got family ties to the Christopher family? We shall see as we go on. Again, Leila Del Duca does great artwork on here. She certainly creates very imaginative landscapes and characters. I just don't know where this story is going to go. There is something in the background, in the back bit of this, where Keatinge does talk about how long this story is going to go. He's kind of a little bit of ambiguous about it, which kind of makes me think he doesn't actually know either. But I'm still having enough fun with it, and it's certainly creative and exciting enough for me to continue buying this. We move on to a Marvel title. It is Thor issue 7, and I wonder if the next issue, where it is finally revealed who our new female Thor is this the last issue? Because I've done a little bit of digging. I can see no solicitations for Thor in May or June, but this may be because of the Secret Wars event that is happening. She may crop up after all that has ended, and we see how the land lies after Battleworld and such like. But it will be sad if next month's issue is the last one. However, we're talking about issue 7, this month's issue, and I have mixed feelings about it, as the first kind of 6 pages seem to be fixed on a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, Roz, I can't remember her last name. I don't know if we're meant to know this character. I think she's been in previous Thor volumes and has some connection, but she seems to be tied in here just so that, one, there is a connection to Roxxon, who is our kind of evil villain of this story arc, along with Malekith, and also that she gets to see the hammer before it was picked up by our mystery lady. I think it's obviously too obvious that it is her that is under the helmet. It would be daft if the final reveal in issue 8 is her, and I'll come to why that is when we get to the end of this title, because this is obviously a huge smackdown between the Destroyer and Thor. And Thor, well, she ain't doing too well. She's basically getting the crap beat out of her, to the point where she loses the hammer and the Destroyer has the chance to pick it up. Not that the Destroyer is worthy of picking up the hammer, as the All-Father explains. It is just a weapon picking up another weapon. It doesn't last for long in the Destroyer's hand, and although our female Thor continues to try and battle on her own, things don't look too good until the cavalry piles itself in. Prince Odin's son with Mother and a multitude of female characters. And I thought this was especially clever because it is Thor's list of people that we saw in a previous issue that he thought could possibly be under the helmet. So we can now cross off a multitude of names that you may have considered whether you saw them on that list or not. Just off the top of my head, I remember seeing people like Valkyrie, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch. Who else is there? There seemed to be some sort of spider character right in the background, but I could have just missaw that. But there are certainly a lot of characters there that we can cross off our list. It was fun, it was exciting. It's going to be great to see this huge smackdown with all the ladies of the Marvel Universe putting her on the Destroyer. It's been great having Douterman back on art, because he does a great job in just making the action scenes really exciting to look at. They're very kinetic, they're very boisterous and bad, as in good, and it just looks like an exciting kind of smackdown that I want to see in my Marvel Comics. So we just have to wait till issue 8 now, and then we will finally have the helmet revealed, taken off, and we'll be able to see who our female Thor is. I hope to God it makes sense and it's not just a kind of throwaway, oh it's her, and then I'll feel a bit, oh that was a bit disappointing. We'll see. And whether our female Thor has a life beyond issue 8. Mark Millar and Sean Murphy's Chrononauts issue 2 from Image Comic came out this week, and this is kind of living up to the first issue of kind of crazy time travelling capers, as we see what's become of Danny's partner Corbin, who went kind of back in time first but got knocked around a bit, so Danny had to follow him to supposedly rescue him, but ended up in a bit of need of rescuing himself. I don't quite understand really what's going on here, but it is a ton of fun still, because what has been happening is Corbin has actually been there a lot longer than Danny thinks. Danny just thinks it's been 20 minutes, but it's been a number of years for Corbin. And Corbin, who has left a life of being ditched by his wife for another man, just continually surrounded by work, not having the greatest of life, is having lots of fun time travelling through the ages, and basically, the way I see it, messing up time, as he's given different time eras technology that they really shouldn't have, and surely this would have an effect on the future, but at the moment it doesn't seem to be having any effect at all. So that's the kind of bit I don't kind of get, but maybe Millar will explain that a little bit further down the line, or have a nice little excuse why this isn't affecting kind of present day. Apart from that, it is just a lot of fun. It's very entertaining, it's very funny in parts, and Sean Murphy's mad detail on this is just phenomenal. I've always liked Sean Murphy's attention to detail. He crams the background with lots of things to look at that not necessarily are needed, but it just embellishes the scene. It gives it a sense that it is a real place in a real time, and these are the things around them, and it's not just kind of a blank wash of colour and maybe a few bricks here and there. He certainly works at the detail, and that just brings up this comic to make it just that bit more entertaining. We finish off this week with Stray Bullets, issue 3 of the Sunshine and Roses storyline. We're sticking with Beth and her latest lover Orson, and you've got a feel for Orson, you really do. I mean, he's this kind of well-meaning guy, but doesn't really know what he's getting into with Beth. At the moment he is trying to help Beth find $10,000 that she needs overnight, by the way, to pay back a debt she owes the Finger, and hopefully by doing this she won't have to sleep with him either. So although Beth doesn't really want Orson to get involved with her life, she realises what a great guy he is, and following her down this path of crime is not going to be doing him any favours, but he will not give up. He's in love with Beth, for better or worse, and he tries to come up with so stupid ideas to raise this $10,000 in a night. They go from selling his dad's car, trying to sell marijuana. What else do they do? There's something else, I forget now. But they're just really silly ideas. By the end of this, poor Orson is now leading a gang called the Sunshine Gang. trashes the Finger's house and somehow finds 10 grand, and it looks as though Beth and Orson, you know, walking down the beach at the end of this title, happily ever after. But I know we are being set up here. Nothing in Stray Bullets ever ends happily. Something awful always happens, and I'm just waiting for that moment to drop. David Lapham is really channeling now his kind of like dark humour. I mean, it's there, but it's very much at the forefront, especially in this mini-series. And for that, I have to applaud him. I have such fun with Stray Bullets, especially when he adds this humorous element to it. It kind of calms down the kind of gritty, depressing side of it, which I know is going to come. This isn't going to end happily, and so I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Before we go, don't forget my pick of the week video will be straight after this. If you've watched my Wednesday video, I think you've probably got a good idea what it is, but if you don't, then you're going to have to wait. It was a good one. Thank you all for watching and making it this far. If you're new to my channel, how about subscribing to it? That way you won't miss out on any of my videos. Monday I do a Well That Happened video, which basically anything can happen now. Wednesdays is my pull list video, and Fridays, as you can see, is my comic book review day video. And who knows, if you're subscribed, you may get some specials along the way. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and in the comment section down below let me know what you thought of the books that I read. Did you have the same opinions as me, or did you like them more, hate them more? Let me know. Until next week, when I'll have another Friday comic book review video for you, have a great weekend. Bye bye.